question.
Okay, well, most of these other questions, I guess, are pretty much topics that we've talked about. Unless one of you who wrote your question out, do you still have something you'd like clarified? Any of you that feel something wasn't quite clarified? Okay.
Then we have to end it. I'll do boom, boom, and I'll do 3 quick rapid fires. Yeah.
Good question.
Yes.
Probably.
It's about returning combat troops and their priorities being hired at jobs like this deal when I was a kid. I went to the post office. I got a service. Because I was in the Navy, I got credit for it. But nowadays, they give them preference when they come back after they go in and fight for our country, fight for us, and get killed and not come back here without him. It's hard to do that. See them on the street.
We had a chance to talk in DC last week on COPD. Thanks for coming out. Yeah, I think.
Repeat the question.
Oh, so we're talking about what? Thank you for telling me that. What is? Do our vets have special favorability when looking for jobs when they come back? And if you don't know, our vets have a higher unemployment rate than the rest of the general population. And if it's a government entity, they do get preference, but they don't get preference in the private sector. And for us, when we do our job fair, we have a special section for our veterans. We give them special, we identify them as a veteran and encourage folks to hire veterans. We look at it, it's a great workforce with great skills, very loyal. And I don't know why that rate is so much higher than the private sector. Have anyone heard of the administration wants to cut back on the benefits of our vets? That's it, right? I'll bet at the Capitol, I haven't seen any of them at the U.S. Capitol beating drums at all on this one. I don't know if any of you have seen the news on that, but they're not there beating drums and ripping it down. No. Okay. All right. We'll do a quick one and one, and then we'll wrap it up. Yep. Sure.
Yeah, my question, you referred to Obamacare, so I'll refer to Duffy Care, which you introduced, I believe, in December. 3 or 4 parts of that. Number 1, has that got a co-sponsor? Number 2, is it out of committee? Number 3, has it been costed? And number 4, does that include a voucher plan?
Yeah, so what I thought was appropriate is if we want to repeal Obamacare, which I voted to repeal, I think we should put our ideas on the table of how we replace it. And so what I did is I put out my own set of ideas on how we replace it using the market. Say, listen, we should have price transparency. We should have competition across state lines. We should have tort reform. So I put those ideas out there, studied markers on where I think we have to go for tort reform. Now, there hasn't been a whole lot of Republicans who've jumped on board, but I think it's important for all of you to know, if I'm going to vote to repeal it, I'm going to tell you what I think we should do to replace it. I think I owe that to you. And so I put my ideas out there, and will continue to advocate for a replacement should we be so honored to get a repeal. So a lot of these sections has gone through a costing mechanism. The whole bill has not been evaluated, though. There's about an 18-month delay in the CBO, so I haven't got that back from the CBO. And then what I do think is appropriate with the President's Obamacare is that we make sure if someone has a pre-existing condition, we should have the ability of them to access care. And so I included a component of access to care for those who have a pre-existing condition. And we allow some funding to go to the states to make sure that can happen. So we do. No, we have an access to care for those who have a pre-existing condition. Do you have a question? Listen, if you want to chat about it after, we can do that. Okay. Do you have a question, one more? Yeah?
Yeah, thank you for your position on Afghanistan. My son just got back last week from there, so.
Thank you.
Syria, and can President Obama send in troops to Syria, or what's your position on that? Yeah.
And I guess I gotta tell you, I think we need to address Syria in some form. I haven't had a high-level briefing on Syria, so I get the same information that you do. But I think if you look at the slaughter that's going on there, there should be some action. I have a difference of opinion of Leon Panetta. I don't know if you saw the video that came out where basically he said to get authority he has to go to the UN or some foreign body. I take offense to that. We have Congress and the Constitution where he gets his authority. And it was very troubling that he was saying he was going to go to a foreign body. If you haven't seen it, try to pull it up on YouTube. It was a congressional hearing where he was talking about getting authority from some foreign body and not the United States. I'm going to be around here for a little bit longer. If you want to chat, I'll be around, but I'm going to have to end it. Randy, I want to thank you for your help. And again, I know that we all come in, we all don't have the same ideas, we all don't leave with the same point of view, but to engage in the conversation, I think is important. I thank you all for coming out and chatting with me. I promise you, as long as you give me the honor to serve you, I'll be open and accessible and engaged with you. And I gotta tell you, I'm working my heart out for you. Every day you give me the honor of serving as your congressman, and I'll continue to do that every day you give me that honor. Thank you.